I'm just looking over David Griffith's testimony, which is pretty frustrating. I also found that David Griffith has a Substack where he writes stuff. He's written a very long and ranty article about how the jury got it right and blah blah blah. And yeah, I just get the impression that I don't know. He contradicts himself a lot. Apparently did some investigation into the case in 2006 with a couple of other police officers, or I don't know if they were detectives. One is Courtney Gale. She either got shot or stabbed, I can't remember which one, in 2007 and ended up out of work for a long time. And Sean Potter, and I'm not too sure what happened to him. From what I can kind of gather is that he might have self-unalived in 2007, not long before Courtney Gale was injured. Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting. Out of the three of them, one is no longer with us, and the other one, I think she's back in law enforcement, but in a different role now. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. They compiled the most important parts of the case file and went and presented it to the FBI and everything. David Griffith, he keeps talking about how he put so much time, so many hours, and he worked on this case for so many years, how he knew so much about the case. But then when Cruz is asking him questions, he keeps saying things like, well, that was 20 years ago. Oh, well, I don't know. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, I don't remember that much detail. Or this or that. Like, just completely contradicting himself. So whenever Yamalama Ding Dong asks him a question, he answers it with so much confidence. But then as soon as Cruz is questioning him, like they didn't confirm Chris's alibi. They spoke to Chris's parents and his mate that he worked with, the one that had a completely different timeline for the events of that morning. And that's it. David wants to talk about how much he knew and how much work they did, and they went and talked about this case in front of the FBI and all of this stuff. But they didn't really do anything useful. And also, he talked about that they took all the information that they had about the case and about the perpetrator, like as if they'd done some sort of behavioral profiling or something. I just think it's so funny. They want to use the fact that this case was 20 plus years ago to justify their lack of knowledge about things and the fact that things weren't confirmed and that there were so many unknowns. And they want to talk about that like it's totally okay. And the differences in the alibis. Well, everybody, gets things a bit wrong or says a different time, but we just felt that it couldn't be Chris. But then poor Edrick's over here. They're like, oh, and he didn't even give us an excuse as to why his DNA was there. All he did was ask us to take him back to jail. He would have known, like, he could have just explained it. No, how about you explain it? How about you explain why Chris's DNA is there? It's so frustrating. And they just totally skimmed over that 2006, 2007 mitochondrial DNA testing. They skimmed right over that. And I think that was really a lost opportunity massively for the defense. David keeps saying that they felt this, they felt that, oh, collectively we felt that this couldn't be because that couldn't be, and this time and that time. And Cruz keeps calling him out on it. Go by feelings or do you go by evidence? And he's like, oh, no, I go by evidence. But he keeps saying it over and over again. It's so bloody frustrating. He likes to use big words as well, like, My analytical assessment in 2006 was that Chris couldn't have done it. Well, I'm sorry, but it's not really analytical if you don't look at alternative theories or don't even have a time of death. So how do you actually know? And obviously the parents are going to side with Chris. They were the ones that were like, oh, Chris, they're going after you for this. Of course they're going to provide him a bloody alibi. Did they ask Edrick's parents for his alibi? And if they did such a good investigation, why did Edrick's name not come up at any point in 20 plus years? Did they not do, I don't know, door knocking or canvassing or whatever in the actual area, since it was only like 500 feet away that apparently Edrick was living? Did they do anything like that? Oh, no? Oh, well, it was 20 years ago. We can't expect to do everything. When they talked to the FBI, apparently the FBI recommended that they look on Chris's hard drive. Did they do that? What was stolen from Tara again? Oh, that's right, a laptop. A laptop. Laptops have hard drives in them, don't they? Oh, and documents, apparently. Yeah. I'm sure back in 2001, Edrick really would have loved to steal a laptop and some documents from a filing cabinet. Yep. Seems legit. If David Griffeth said it's legit, then it's legit because analytical analysis. And FBI. FBI! It's infuriating. Hey! Have you ever been sitting on trial looking at 2 life sentences plus 45 years or whatever? It's all good, right? We have to just be okay with unknowns.
Mr. Cruz, what I can tell you with certainty is that as I sit here today in 2026, my assessment of Chris Melton's timeline in 2001 as an investigative analyst that's investigated hundreds of violent crimes is that Chris Melton has substantial testimony from other people that puts him away from Athens, Georgia at the time Tara Baker was killed. And our assessment in the analytical unit at the Athens-Clarke County Police Department was that Chris Melton could not have killed Tara Baker. You know, from an analytical standpoint, we had to look at, could we absolutely eliminate him? I would not absolutely eliminate my mother from the crime. If somebody came and
It's not my life on the line. All these armchair detectives, all these punks on social media, they haven't been balls deep in this case file for years, have they?
that's based on the totality review of the case file at the time that we looked at it in 2005. And that's what we presented in Quantico, Virginia at the FBI Academy.
Sure. And even the FBI advised you all to investigate Chris Melton's hard drive. Is that correct?
I recollect that there was a suggestion to look at his hard drive in an email from Christine DePoyster. I don't know that Chris Melton had a hard drive to look at.
Well, this is what I follow up with. If ACCPD was so certain that Chris Melton was away from Athens, why would the FBI request or instruct you all to look at his hard drive?
It goes back to something I said before. We did not eliminate Chris Melton as a person of interest. He was not at the top of our list of persons of interest. So, but it made it, the totality of the statements that we reviewed made it seem very implausible that Chris Melton was in Athens, Georgia at the time Tara Baker was killed. Now, if you presented some significant evidence, you know, if Chris Melton was seen on video in the neighborhood with a timestamp of 8 a.m. on January the 19th in 2001, that might change my assessment. But
you know, the jury got it right Because the jury only saw the admissible evidence. And that's the way it should be. And who decides if it's admissible? Judge Lott? She's fair as fuck. I don't know what you're talking about.
But can I ask you this?
Sure.
You would agree that Mr. Faust wasn't seen on video at 8 a.m. in the neighborhood. Is that correct?
I didn't say he was, but I was talking about what might change my mind. Now, if we saw a video of Mr. Faust in the neighborhood, that would be a clue, right?
But you also didn't see any video of Deer Park. Is that right?
I don't think I saw any video from Deer Park.
Well, Yamalama Ding Dong as well, and he's like the main head guy. He's like the new DA or whatever.
Outside of the bank, so we're not talking about the bank. We're going to assume that the bank is at 9:08. Between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., you all didn't collect any video where Chris Melton was located. Is that correct?
The only video that I recollect being collected, or I don't think it was collected, I think it was seen, was Chris Melton in a bank.
FBI stated search the hard drive. That wasn't done, was it?
I don't believe there was a hard drive to be searched.
So that's a no?
I cannot say with certainty.
Looking at 2 life sentences plus 45 years or whatever. It's all good, right? We have to just be okay with unknowns.
That we didn't search a hard drive as I sit here today, but I do not have any recollection of searching a hard drive.